And you did an academics interview super early in the game, bro.
Yeah.
How did you score that, bro?
Okay, so this was after I did my little TJ interview, I think
Also
in October.
big. Yeah.
So I started working alongside a quite large media conglomerate. At the time, I'm not going to drop names, but they're quite huge. And I worked with them for about 3-4 months, and they had a close relationship with Akademiks.
Right.
Now he was coming to town and we were quite busy that weekend doing our own thing, but I asked permission from the conglomerate. Could I reach out? They said yes. Surprisingly, I sent a DM, man. And I was like, I'm working with so-and-so. I know you're coming in to shout out Up Next 6 to do a conference. Could I give a little 1-2 interview with you before the conference? And he's like, yeah, sounds good. Let me just check out with Up Next 6. And thank God they said yes, shout out Up Next 6. And they allowed me to have a quick little interview. Now, the full thing I'll drop this here. The full thing is 20 minutes. I only released 4 minutes. So it was long, but the conglomerate only approved the 4 minutes because that's what they thought was good for their image, which is fine. But I have that in the vault for myself to look back on, and hopefully I could swing back around for another one. Just got to keep working hard, But that's how I kind of pulled it off.
That's interesting because it leads me to one of my questions I have a little bit further down, actually, about cutting content. Is that the only time that you ever had to like cut some pieces out of content?
Well,
and is it always been by the request, or sometimes you make that decision?
Well, now that's a very good question in the sense now it's more of a team decision. Back then, I was answering to the media conglomerate, so it was their decision. Usually, I always want to keep it raw and uncut. Now, I fight for a lot of my content to stay in, but that's why you have a marketing team that say, no, let's chill on that. Or even as the artist will reach out and be like, listen, that needs to go. But then we're sitting there like, buddy, that's the best piece of the interview. And then do we press upload or do we, it's a fine line, like
upload and then just watch over your back all the time?
Exactly. So I feel like back then, when I was doing let's say I did that Smiley interview for the second time out of Abstract, I had full creative control because then I just had a producer and myself. Now my team is about 4, 5, 6 people.
Nice.
And everyone has a say. And I don't really push back because that's why I brought a team on to hire, to cover expertise that I don't know. So I feel like it's more of a team decision now, but back then it was a little bit more Wild West.
Yeah, I could imagine, man.
For for instance, when I interviewed Young Tory, I decided that was just me in charge of the content. Now in retrospect, maybe I wouldn't have put out everything that I would have put out in that interview, but that was an interview where I said, I'm letting it all in. And I asked him too, and he's like, yeah, it's cool. Retrospect, might have played it a bit safer, but that's between me, you, and now all of your audience. So